Started in that general area. The wind was blowing directly south, so we're looking east, and no smoke came in this direction at all for hours. So we're on Piedra Morada Drive in the Palisades Highlands, coming up from Sunset Boulevard from the Palisades Village. And we're on the edge of the Santa Monica Mountains. The houses on this street all border the Santa Monica Mountains. Right behind me is a canyon, more or less, that's heavily vegetated, or was heavily vegetated, and the fire started straight across the canyon at about 10:20 Tuesday morning, and eventually moved south, which is directly to my left, and the winds were blowing pretty heavily, so it eventually blew embers all the way down into the Palisades Village, and everybody's seen the results on the news. The fire started here. It's starting to generate a lot of smoke. It stayed fairly contained like that for 25, 30 minutes, and then started to spread. I heard that could have been started by a hiker or a homeless person or people lighting fireworks. Could have been the same thing with this fire. There was no lightning, there's no power lines up there, there's no reason necessarily that a fire would just start by itself, but who knows. And then as it burned, this whole half on the left here from where that ridge is, because it burned, it tends to burn down. Well, it did burn down because the wind was blowing that way. Probably. We were here from watching it from 10:30 to 5:30.
My God.
Yeah, and there was really almost no smoke here because the wind was blowing that way. So the hillside is heavy brush where the only thing that's getting through it is wild animals, really. No access for firefighters at all. There was one firefighter on the opposite side in the direction behind me that had hoses at the very top that was keeping things damp enough to prevent the fire from going all the way up the hill. And then as the fire approached the houses where I'm standing, firefighters were keeping it under control to protect those homes, but the only way to deal with it was by air with fire retardants and water, and so there was a continuous flow of mostly helicopters and some fixed-wing planes dumping water and fire retardants. If this fire had started at 3, 4 in the morning when everyone was sound asleep, it might not have been reported right away. It might have, there might have been a lot of loss of life for people that were sound asleep and didn't have the opportunity to get up and get out early enough. So in that sense, I guess it's lucky. At the end it was, and that's where the fire, the last one before that big rock, and it just wrapped around that.